I love this 1917 title reveal shot, and it was reminding me of a shot from a project that I've been working on, which meant that I had this 10-second shot of James running in a field, and the kicker, he's already rotoed, and the footage is already camera tracked. So, all I need to do now is basically do what I did in this longer Game of Thrones tutorial. I found a model of what I think is a British World War I era soldier. Then I exported his model to Mixamo, where I auto-rigged him, and then applied a run and crouched run cycle. I saved these both, and then in Cinema 4D I placed a rifle in their hands, and then exported them as Cinema 4D sequences using SteadyBake. Back in After Effects, I can import these sequences to an element layer, and then use some group nulls to make them run across screen. But just one won't do, so I replicate the soldiers in a plane, spread them apart and scatter them in X and Z, and set the animation to random loop. I do the same thing for the crouching soldiers, but I have them running a little slower. And then after a bunch of tweaks, I find just the right arrangement of soldiers so that none are really overlapping with James or each other. Next, I drop in this boring, foggy background, and also use some of Element's fog options to give me some foggy depth to my CG soldiers. It's all looking pretty good, so I'll render the soldiers as some PNGs, and also I'll export a depth matte. Now, a nice depth matte will allow you to use it as a Luma matte for things like these explosions from Action VFX. Now check this out. If I adjust or add, some keyframes to the brightness and contrast on this depth matte, the explosions can interact with exactly the soldiers I want. I can also use that same matte to pull this foreground soldier in front of James for this one moment right here. Now I add some cast shadows to the explosions so they look a little bit more real, but I also know that a lot of this is going to get covered up by this logo text that I keyframed into place. Fade in this colorful background and some subtle Action VFX explosions and dust right here, and we've got this. Render it, go to Premiere, and layer in some battle sounds, explosions, yelling, and of course this crescendo from Pro Scores. And you've got yourself a nice little war movie title reveal thing. And Ryan Reynolds will like it on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.